right, chat. Let's talk about it again. Let's talk about it again, chat. There's more Hoyoverse EN drama news again, chat. But this time, it's kind of a bit some good news, actually. Some actual, like, kind of decently good news. So, no. It's over. What are we talking about? You know what we're talking about. Oh, no. Everyone's like, oh, shit. Here we go again. All right. Let's take a look at it, shall we? Let's see what it is. I'm curious. What VAs that got exchanged, you know?
Guys, we've got
It
another.
really has been a fucking dumpster fire, to be honest. Jesus fucking Christ, in my personal opinion. Honestly, it's kind of crazy in my personal opinion.
Update in the VA situation, and this one is definitely
Yeah,
a
take care,
pretty
anime.
big,
Be
pretty
safe,
crazy
hon.
one. So we're here on Hoyo Lab version 1.7. Bear your tears for the past update details. And in this update, it seems like a number of voice actors for Zenless Zone Zero, that of course being a Hoyoverse game, number of these VAs have been replaced. Interestingly enough, taking a look at those VAs, it seems like they were.
I thought it was going to be the Genshin Impact, VAs that were going to get replaced.
Indeed, promoting the strike work refusal thing. I'm not saying that is definitively why they got replaced. I'm simply saying that that is additional context. But before we talk about that, guys, we've got to address the controversy that's going on right here on this channel. The feet comment controversy. Because yesterday I got this comment that says, like to make Kirei post his IRL femboy feet. Comment to make Kirei post his VTuber feet. And I was like, bro really posted this 3 days in a row. Cook him, chat. But you know what happened? You guys know what happened? You didn't cook him. You freaking were like, a lot of you guys were liking his comment. And were like supporting his comment. What kind of backup is that? Look at this. I'm doing my part. Let him cook. Someone go make it, please. He has a point.
Oh
Kirei,
my god.
well you, is it? I will fully admit that, yeah, it didn't really go so well. But what I'm not doing is deleting comments. So let me address that right now. Get this controversy out of the way. Because look at this. If you sort by top comments, it says replies 53. But then, if you sort by newest first, it goes all the way up to 72 replies. So some people may think, like, they left a comment and they can't see it, and I'm, like, hiding the comment or something, but no, it's, like, something weird with the YouTube guys.
Co-feed pick win?
72.
Okay, buddy.
I am completely innocent.
Okay,
that
buddy.
said, I guess you guys have spoken, and I'll see what I can do about the VTuber feet thing, but, like, what kind of artist could I even find to do something like that? Like, that probably doesn't even exist. But if by any chance it is possible, I will post not on my main account, not on main, definitely not on main, but I made a new VTuber
Femboy.
account, so consider following that for just like general stuff, like VTuber stuff, and then maybe also that other stuff that people were talking about. Anyways, on to the main topic. Oh, I did forget to mention, I'll have that in the pinned comment for today. Now, really on to the main topic. So back over on Hoyo Lab, check this part out, specifically for patch 1.7, adjustments and optimizations, where they say, changes the English voice actors for agents Kalinda, Grace, and Rena, and replaces the corresponding voice lines.
Wait, Grace? They're changing the voice line for Grace? Wow, that's crazy.
We can see some duality in the immediate responses. For example, this user saying, return all the original VAs and apologize. Collective action is a fundamental human right. Response is reading, you could still delete this, and the VAs are at fault. They decided not to work, so Hoyoverse has given these people so much time to either present.
You want to know something? I'm basically the same height as Grace from Zenless Zone Zero. That's basically roughly where my height is. Maybe one day I'll cosplay as Grace or something, you know?
Agreeable terms that don't involve screwing over the non-union talent that are also working on their games, or to simply return to work. So let's check this out. As mentioned, get some more information on the involvement that these people may or may not have with the strike / collective work refusal against Hoyoverse. So here's the VA for Kwoka, and just scrolling a little bit, we can see, let's see here, gaming awards. Okay, that's not the SAG-AFTRA thing. Scrolling a little bit more, we can see that Katie Cofield here retweeted Koi Dao saying, this is not a union actor versus non-union actor conflict. The goal of the strike is to ensure that this craft isn't lost to AI. We've got a common goal, which is why so many non-union actors are holding the line alongside their union castmates, despite having no obligation to do so. Well, I wouldn't say so many. It seems like some have. The obligation is, as these people have already made very clear, a social obligation. If they go against the strike and these other VAs, then they're going to get harassed on Twitter or potentially blacklisted, as we saw Shara Kirby talking about. Another one similarly saying, also retweeted by Katie Cofield, of course. Guys, if a non-union game were to flip union, no non-union actors would not be fired. More details in quoted thread, but basically, non-union actors can work on union video games. While yes, of course, misinformation can spread on Reddit as it can anywhere, the fact is a lot of these VAs have also been spreading misinformation, and much of it intentionally misleading and manipulative. As for the non-union actor part, well, this goes back to what we were discussing from Joe Zeech's video, where these non-union actors would essentially have to beg SAG not to terminate them and replace them with union talent. And as we've discussed many times, and as you guys know, based off the statements made by SAG executives, based on the policies on their own website, and the disparaging remarks of many of their members on social media, we can't reasonably expect that they're going to treat the non-union actors well. As a matter of fact, the reasonable conclusion is the inverse, that they wouldn't. Katie Cofield had also retweeted some other damage control stuff. As you can see, this is all from like back on March 19th. March
You're not
14th,
getting feet pics.
And also the ones we read were like March 26th and respectively also March 26th. This is all stuff that has been refuted time and time again since then. This is like a month later. Just giving you context as mentioned as to what you might consider their involvement or their stance, right? This sort of thing. On to the next VA, that being Chelsea Kwoka, VA for Grace Howard in Zenless Zone Zero and Shenha in Genshin Impact.
She's Shenha's English VA? Oh my fucking god, dude. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I listen to the JP VA anyways, but like I do want to cosplay as Shenhe. So that's one of the characters that I want to cosplay, you know. So
although it seems like that may no longer be the case. We seem to know that already for ZZZ, but we'll see what happens with Genshin. And scrolling, let's see if there's anything about the SAG-AFTRA stuff. Oh my gosh. This one was especially interesting. This is the one where Inaris, another VA, had made a tweet that is no longer available because I think she deleted it. Pretty sure that's what happened. But that was the one which, you know what, I'll just go find it and like edit it together. Give me 1 second. There we go. This one, where Inaris said, hey, Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, ZZZEN, we English VAs would love to get back to work. I know the fans miss hearing their favorite Karas, and we miss voicing them. Please negotiate with SAG-AFTRA and sign the interim agreement to guarantee AI protections for us. Which the official Twitter account for SAG-AFTRA said what Inaris said. Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, ZZEN will make it easy for you.
To be honest, you know, nothing has been missed or so with the English VAs, at least, you know. So rest in pepperonis, in my personal opinion. You reap what you sow, you know.
Link to our interactive video game media agreement. Let's talk soon. Wink.
I'm not really surprised whatsoever. So
the information that was provided from Joe Zeech's video, in which it sounds like the collective work refusal from these VAs is not an official strike through SAG-AFTRA, but then here was SAG-AFTRA trying to put some public social pressure on Hoyoverse to sign that agreement. And let me point something else out here. This is something I probably should have mentioned in prior videos. Totally my bad for not doing this. But when you click that link, it takes you to a page on SAG-AFTRA that leads you to 2 other links that show agreements.
It's more VA stuff.
Are sample agreements. So I really don't think it works like that. I don't think...
The fuck is this? What is this? The fuck is this?
Our sample agreement.
It's the leaks of their contract, I think. This is their contract? What the fuck are these tiers? What is this tier stuff? Terms of qualifying projects will be based on the following budget tiers? What? What?
So I really...
4-hour sessions, 6-hour-ish sessions. vocally stressful sessions? What?
Don't think it works like that. I don't think.
On camera session rate? 8 hours? 8-hour session? 3 days or weekly on camera? Physically stressful sessions? What? Secondary compensation. Percentage of full scale per 500,000 units. In connection with the on-camera session, face of movement is unlimited, but voice is limited to the number in off-camera rate to a maximum of 2 payments. By signing below, employers represent and warrant that the projects meet the above qualifications and that all representations made herein and in the corresponding signatory? I don't know. I have no fucking idea. Applications or preliminary information sheets are true and correct. Employers acknowledges and agrees to be bound by and to what? Wait, what? And to comma the I-IMA and the terms of conditions attached hereto. Eh? I don't get this shit. This shit's confusing, to be honest.
I don't think Hoyoverse, excuse me, can just like click that and like sign it. Oh, there you go. It's so easy. Like, no, first of all, there's sample agreements. And second, we don't know that those are the actual agreements being presented to Hoyoverse either, because again, it's all
these
just
aren't even the real
samples.
one.
This
Oh,
is
okay.
just another example of how to the public, that group of VAs and SAG-AFTRA are trying to make it look like, oh, it's so easy. We're just barely asking for anything, you know, just sign this Hoyoverse. It's so simple. But in reality, it really doesn't seem to be as simple as they're trying to let on to the public. Okay, so we've taken a look at 2 of the VA's Twitter accounts who were seemingly let go from Hoyoverse's Zenless Zone Zero. We've got one more to take a look at, but before we do, on the note that I just mentioned regarding the whole SAG-AFTRA thing, we've actually got to take a look over on Blue Sky because LittleKuriboh made a post that I think would make for a perfect segue real quick.
Oh, for fuck's sakes, dude. Little fucking Kuriboh, dude. Oh my god, dude. I hate this guy already. Oh my god, can this guy just shut up already? God damn, LittleKuriboh. God lord, bro. You used to be cool. Now you're just fucking cringe and lame now, bro. Like, you're old, bro. Don't you have kids to take care of? Get off the internet, bro.
Earlier today, LittleKuriboh had this to say. Actors saying, quote, this strike is about AI protections, unquote, never meant that it was exclusively about that. Fans seem to have decided they were lied to regardless.
Hey, Pikachu.
Wow, what a change of the tune here, huh?
I hate LittleKuriboh now these
indeed.
days.
A lot of these VAs were saying that the strike is just about AI protections, and the ones that were not outright saying it were certainly implying it.
You saw this? What do you think, Pikachu? I love, you know, I'm passionate about VA stuff, and this shit is literally pissing me off so damn much, to be honest. You have no idea how much this is actually like pissing me off. Like, seriously. It's really starting, like, there is to a point or so that I'm getting so irritated about it, you know? I'm passionate about VA. I love VA. I used to do VA. I haven't done VA, like, I haven't done, like, serious VA work in a while. Well, I want to say a while, a long time. So, you know, it kind of sucks, you know? This is kind of like, you know, it's something that I loved. I enjoyed doing it, and now I'm like, wow, this is pissing me the shit out. This is, like, literally getting me angry, like, no joke. It's not gonna ever fly because they aren't legally recognized entities in Japan, let alone China, and probably wouldn't pass China rules and contracts. Well, if I remember correctly, I think someone told me already that like Hoyoverse is already signed in China, so for AI protection or so and whatnot. So they can't go sign someone else, another country's thing. So yeah. And it's making my anxious not even try to VA. Yep, that's the problem. It kind of like makes people who want to try out VA don't want to do VA stuff or like any serious work or so because of these people, these annoying ass people, China has laws protecting people from AI voiceovers. Yeah.
Since the fandoms have been looking into all this stuff more thoroughly, and we've found that we've been getting misled, now suddenly they're saying, guys, the strike was never just about AI protections. It was never exclusively about that. Yeah, okay, bro. But it's really funny how LittleKuriboh doesn't seem to be directly involved with this situation.
If I was still doing VA stuff, I would not join this union because I can already smell sus already. So, yeah.
He just continues to interject himself into it over and over again. and it's like consistently, in my opinion at least, making it worse for that side. Like, you gotta wonder, is bro a sleeper cell? Is this just like, is this some like 4D chess he's trying to pull here or something for Hoyoverse? Is this like a secret Hoyoverse agent? I'm kidding. Surely not the case, but it is pretty funny. I think I saw some people saying the same thing about Paimon's VA too, Karina. Like, you gotta wonder about these people sometimes, man. That's how bad their points are.
Thank you for the follow.
So
Welcome,
we had
welcome.
previously left off on the Twitter account for Chelsea Kwoka, the VA or previous VA for Grace Howard, and how she was retweeting SAG-AFTRA's like signal boosting of Anaris's now deleted tweet, trying to get Hoyoverse to publicly, making a public tweet at Hoyoverse, trying to get them to sign this agreement. Okay, there we go. Better phrasing. And also had retweeted Koi Dao, we can see here. Once again, something else from like back in late March that had been thoroughly refuted by the fandoms. So we've seen how Katie Cofield was retweeting this sort of stuff. Chelsea Kwoka was retweeting this sort of stuff. And now that takes us over to Crystal Lee, the third VA from the patch notes for ZZZ, who seems to be getting replaced. You can see
what did she voice act? Chlorinide? Let me see. Hold on. Can I see real? Crystal Lee. Let me see real quick. Let me see real quick. Let's take a look. She voiced act Genshin Impact. She voiced Chlorinide for Genshin Impact is what I'm noticing. Oh, she voiced act Alexandrina or Sebastiana or whatever the fuck you want to pronounce her name or so. So yeah. Us from the Taiwanese congregation doesn't accept her as part of our community. Oh, really? You know, she's not part of the Taiwanese delegation anymore. I see. I finally get to say it. I see. So she voice acted Chlorinide, or whatever you want to kind of pronounce it or so. See, this is the reason why I don't really follow English VAs. It's because you have English VAs that are like this, you know, unfortunately. That's kind of like the shitty thing about it, you know?
Also the VA for Chlorine. Once again, my bad for the
Clorox.
pronunciation. Please correct me in the comments. Hopefully I can remember it though. And let's see if there's any sort of similar stuff going on with this account. Well, yes indeed. There is a retweet of that same Koi Dao thread. Some of the other retweets we saw earlier were not the first tweet in the thread, but like other follow-up posts from Koi. Anything else?
Thank you for the follow.
See.
Welcome.
Back on March 26th. Oh, this is an interesting one. Wow. So retweeted John Patton-Wad, specifically retweeting Courtney Lynn, who seems to be another VA there with Atlas, who had retweeted John Patton-Wad. This being the statement John Patton-Wad had made, I believe, after Jacob Takanashi's statement as replacing him.
No, they
for the role of
don't.
Peach.
They really
Courtney
don't know
Lynn
what
had said,
professionalism is.
sending all the support to John. He is a class act and wonderful actor. Actors deserve AI protections. Bro, minutes after reading the the Blue Sky post from LittleKuriboh, who was all like, actors were never saying it was just AI protections. We have a perfect example of how they were framing it as just that. We've had so many examples of this, of course, but here's another one. What perfect timing that is. Oh my gosh, dude. Unbelievable. The best way to support real actors in jobs. Is that like a slight at Jacob Takanashi, by the way, like that framing? The best way to support real actors in jobs, okay, is to let the dev companies know, and also don't take actions that would undermine strike efforts. That definitely, in my opinion, seems like a jab at Jacob Takanashi. And also like non-union actors in general, because this has been rhetoric from SAG. Like they literally have a page on their website.
I don't even know who Courtney Lynn is.
Talking about how the union actors are better than those lowly non-union actors. Oh my gosh. Scrolling slightly further, we can see that Crystal Lee had also retweeted
Who?
this damage control tweet from Ashley Biskey.
Who?
And I've only scrolled for like seconds, probably less than a minute. on each of these three VA's Twitter accounts, but I think I've seen plenty to, at least in my opinion, come to a reasonable assessment of where they probably stand on all this stuff. Of course, the three VAs I'm referring to being the ones that seem to be getting replaced on Zenless Zone Zero. Now, once again, I'm not saying why they got replaced. I just decided to take a look into some more context on what may be a possible reason. Potentially, maybe Hoyoverse is getting sick of dealing with this strike or collective work refusal, however you want to put it. Who knows for sure, but it is certainly an interesting update in what seems to be the still ongoing situation. This following right around 1 month now since John Patnoid was replaced in the role of Kenichi by VA Jacob Takanashi. So let me know what you think about all this stuff in the comments. Hope you enjoyed my coverage. If you did, please consider liking and or subscribing. Appreciate ya, and I'll see you in the next one. Guys,
Well, at least it's a little bit positive news, at least, you know. The VAs got replaced in Zenless Zone Zero. Granted, not in Genshin Impact, but they did get replaced at least in ZZZ, so I hate this. I generally despise this. I love VA work. I love VA stuff, you know. I just love the whole voice acting thing. I think it's pretty fun personally, but it's very interesting to see this. Hopefully they do replace him, you know. Yep, it definitely is. Even then, at the end of the day, there's literally like no strike. Basically, they're trying to basically have a monopolize. They're trying to monopolize the VA scene. So you're forced to join, you know, the union or so. That's basically is what they want them to do. Yeah, I'm more common sense. I don't have a massive ego because I always criticize myself all the time. That's why. No one can criticize harder than me. No one can criticize harder than I can. So, yeah. But that's how I always, you know, I always shit talk to myself all the time, but that always pushes me and makes myself better, so because I know I can do better. So, but yeah. Overall, I guess you could say it's kind of good news, but not really though. But it's just kind of like still surprisingly enough that this is just how it is. Oh, I'm not joining that union. They can go F off, you know. If they try to contact me or so, if I get into like if I start doing my demo take, right? I need to redo my demo reel, of course, for VA stuff, of course. And if they wanted to how do I say, if they wanted to specifically they reached out to me, they'd be like, "Hey, you should join our union." I'd be like, no, F off." Thank you for the follow. Welcome. Well, if it's Hoyo, it's clearing house. That's fine by me. Yeah. Personally, you know, it'd be pretty interesting. I haven't done a demo reel in a while though, unfortunately. So. Yeah, it's not like, you know, it's kind of good news, you know, but because, you know, the voice actress for Coletta, Grace, and Rena have been basically replaced in Zenless Zone Zero. Now, if only they can get replaced from Genshin Impact, that'd be really nice, you know. so they can get a cold serving of their own order, basically. So, but who knows? Who knows? We'll see what happens. It's not gonna end anytime soon, honestly. It's not gonna end anytime. This dumb strike. It's not gonna end anytime soon, you know. At this point, you know, just replace all the bad VAs at this point. You know, hey man, shit, I'll do it for free, man. You can, you know, I'll even do it for free because I enjoy doing VA. So they'll probably announce it at the same time as the new replacement voice launches. Yeah, that's probably what's gonna happen. And then when that specifically happens as well.
The issue isn't the independent VAS. They stopped recruiting PPL ages ago. They switched into hitting the studios, employers, the PPL looking to hire you and making them union, and in turn forcing you out of the gig market, as less and less PPL will hire you due to being forced into the union.
You know, the best I lost my train of action or so because you interrupted me or so. What was I saying again? Fuck, I already forgot. I'm still waiting for the Spanish Paimon dub from Ko. Man, that shit would be fun, to be honest. I don't VA, but I'll say any line and try my best. To express that line. No, you're good, Igni. But I already forgot what I was gonna say, anyways. Funny thing is, the VAs are so deep in now that it's impossible for them to back down anymore. That's true. That's true. At the end of the day, they should probably replace all of the They should just replace all of the bad VAs at the end of the day. I would take the role as Paimon easy. I just told him, hey man, let me voice the VA for Paimon, but let me like come in with a lowrider and then just let me speak Spanish or so, you know. If Malvika can have a motorcycle, why can I not have a lowrider? You know, shit at that point, you know. So Nako Paimon would be tolerable. Even my lolly voice is not even that bad. Chat has already told me that, like, you know what? I'd rather hear your voice as Paimon or so than actual Karina's weird lolly voice. So, by the way, every time you judge yourself hard, think about the hardworking husband and father of 2. I believe there are still 2 who has a blast while getting ready to work in the morning with your videos. Yeah, but I always criticize myself because I need to know, because I know for a fact I can do better. But that's pretty much about it, so. Hey, Wolf, how you doing there, hun? But yeah, but who knows? We'll see what happens, chat. There's still probably gonna be more. Oh yes, I remember what I was gonna say. I bet you the moment they announce the VAs for the new VAs for these 3 characters, we all know this for a fact that all the Genshin VAs and whatnot, they're probably gonna start harassing. They're probably gonna start trying to harass the new VAs for Grace, Coletta, and Rina, and it's just gonna rinse and repeat again. And it's just kind of like, bruh, you can't be serious. Watch, chat. Watch. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. The moment they announce the new VAs for these 3 characters, they're gonna fucking you know, they're gonna try to harass them. You know, but. Yep, it is what it is. Oh well, it is what it is. But that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazzy stuff. And yeah, they do be losing steam. Yep, true. It's a common thing on the VA industry. Yeah, but this is getting out of hand though. This specific VA thing is getting out of hand though. I hope the new VAs are also in Japan so they can step back and go, what is an AFTRA? Why is it saggy? Just you know, hey man, it is what it is, you know. It is what it is. But yeah, anyways, who knows, maybe one day I'll get my voice in a video game one of these days, you know. But that's the end of the video, and peace.